strength. All right, you still have to respect this strength in the stock. So nothing crazy. It's still in the upper third part of the strength of the move. But we did have that combination that I explained to you. This solid red bar eliminates a lot of work put in by the bulls. And this solid red bar has started from this tail. All right? So you got to look at it as a full move down like that. And I'm willing to sacrifice a good portion of my gains here today to play this. Let's see. All right, so nothing, no move up into this area. No move up, even though it will throw me negative. That move up is I'm not going to be afraid of it. All right. All right. This is where a lot of untrained traders they don't know when a negative is an acceptable negative versus an unacceptable negative. You follow what I'm saying? So this is an acceptable negative for me in this area. But if we clear the highs, I'll just have to take the hit and take my loss and just suck it up. That's one of the 20% that doesn't go your way. But we play for the 80%. You can't get disappointed by the 20% that you have to live with your whole trading life. Right? So 20% of the time, right? 20% of the time, 20% of the time, this is taken out. This kind of drop is taken out from an extended position. All right? So 20% of the time, you just have to take the loss and deal with that as life as a professional trader. But we play the 80% of the time, you get the drop. You get the follow through on the downside. All right? So we're going to see how this plays out. I'm still pretty much break even in the trade, up a little bit, up 500. To me, that's break even. I mean, not at 500. I mean, I'm literally break even. I'm break even in the stock right now. Okay, here comes the drop. Let's see if we can drop into some of my orders down here. Here we go. Look at that. Boom. Comes a puppy. Just a little bit more, baby. Just a little bit more. You can break that 60. I'm going to go right above that 60. It's having trouble with that 60 there. All right, guys. All right. This little scalp to the downside here, guys. Picked up $1,000 on that play. And we might go down even further. Remember when I told you the concept of a scalp is, right? So here's the whole move. The half point is what I would call the trade. This is the trade. From here to there is the trade, okay? The scalp is less. So the scalp is here from there. It's a little bit more than halfway, actually. It's about a third. So the scalp is a third. The trade is a half. The super trade is about right there. So now, here's where trading math comes into play, right? So make sure you guys are listening to me. You guys are still with me, right? Traders, you still with me? Yeah? Yeah, so okay, cool. Just want to make sure you're still with me. So, listen, here's where the trading math comes into play. Most traders, most novices, if they were to have gotten short near the high up here, they're going to try to go for a drop all the way down here, okay? That happens, the 100% level happens like 5% at the time, 5%. So it's a 95% chance of you not getting that, okay? Now, is it a better chance that you get the move to the halfway point? Of course, right? So now you're talking about maybe a 55 to 60% chance. It's actually good. It's about a 55% chance that you get the drop all the way to the halfway point, okay? But what's the odds here? The third. What's the odds at the third? Watch this. At the 1/3 level, the odds are 95%. So 95% of the time, you get the third pullback. You get the 33% pullback into the counter trend. You get the counter move retracing 33% of the power is a 95% chance that the pullback against the power reaches the 33% mark. So here's where smart trading math is. If you have, let's do this. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. So if you have, for a move to go from here to there, that's 55%. You're working with 55% chance. But a move from here to there is 95%. So some traders say, Oliver, I see that you leave a lot on the table. It's because I play the 95% most of the time. Now, how do you make as much money as the trader who gets the 50%? You play bigger size. So if you're going for the 33% move, you play big. If you're going for the 50% move, all right, you play medium. If you're going for the super trade level, you play small. And this equals like the 95% trader doesn't make less than the trader who gets this because they're playing big. So the bigness makes up for the loss of the 50% move. Do you follow what I'm saying? Does this make sense to you? Yes? A little bit? No? So the scalper sacrifices the bigger move, but gets very close, if not equal, to the gain by going bigger. Now, why is bigger better for the scalp? Because your capital is exposed to the possibility of danger less time. So remember, time equates to risk. So it takes more time to go from here to there most of the time. It takes less time to go from here to there. So because the concept is because the scalp, in the scalp, the trader's money is exposed to the possibility of danger a shorter period of time, it calls for a greater degree of capital to put at risk. That's why you play medium size going for the 50% move, because your money now is exposed to the possibility of danger a longer period of time. Time equals risk, and so time should be one of the key components of evaluating or determining what your size should be. Just tell me you understand this. Yes? Okay. Now someone, guys, as I'm sharing this on Periscope, someone on Periscope is asking what made me go short here. In Periscope, we were talking about a specific pattern. I was teaching my traders a specific pattern here. A solid red bar that originates far away from its key moving averages. You'll see the space and the space, right? So that's the key component. You've got a solid fat red bar that originates. The origination happens far away. So you look at all this space. Now, that red bar must do damage to green. So that red bar kills some green. It's not just any red bar. You need the red bar to kill green. And you need the origin of the red bar to start far away from the 20. But if you look closely, the origin of the red bar started here. Not where the red bar looks like it started. The red bar started, the movement down started from the tail. So now if you paint that in, you see the type of damage that really happens with this red bar. So I went short based on that concept. And so that's why I say any move up into this area is going to apply pressure to the stock. Any move up into that area is not to be concerned. Now, we can look at several examples of this. Look at Facebook, which look at my gain in Facebook here. And you'll see the short I did just a little while ago in Facebook here. And I told my traders that this is a market law for failure here. And there's your drop. But take a look at this concept in Microsoft. So you have the same concept where a solid red bar does some damage. It eliminates a chunk of green. The origin of the red happens in a separated position. So typically, you're going to get follow through after that red bar. But usually there is a slight little bump to the upside that you can't be afraid of. The same way it happens in my PayPal play. This bump to the upside you can't be afraid of because this is going to be applying pressure. And there's your drop. So that combination, which we have seen happen at Twitter today, where you have the red drop doing some damage, and you can combine multiple reds together to really see the full picture of the damage. So now, again, this is going to be applying pressure now. So any move up, you can't be afraid of after that. And there's the follow through. All right, you come back down to the origin of support with the 200, and no surprise, this is bouncing upward now. But that concept, again, we saw in MU today as well. Here's that solid red bar, right? Boom. That red bar is doing damage to green. It's wiping out a chunk of green. It really originated from here in a separated position. So again, after this red bar, right, after this damage, you can't be, this damage is going to be applying pressure this way. So you can't be afraid of any bounce. Here's the bounce, and then there's the collapse. So same thing with my PayPal play. You know, here's the bar that does damage. It originates from here. This is going to be applying pressure. This bounce you can't be afraid of, and there's the follow through. And that pattern happens over and over and over and over again. It's a moneymaker, traders. There are things that can make you money for the rest of your trading life. This is one of them. This is a moneymaker forever. Do you understand? For as long as you trade, this will make you money forever. So you guys understand it? Make sense? All right, to finish is asking, but how about going big for the 33% and reducing size? Yes. Now you're talking to finish. So a trader can ride it out. So a trader can have a two-phase trade with this, right? So a trader, because this did achieve the 50% level. Look at that. It achieved it, more or less, right? It achieved it. So here's my level, more like, no, a little bit lower. I did that a little bit lower. So here's my level down here in the low 60s. I got out, right? So I went for the 95% play, okay? But yes, you can reduce. You go big here, you go big for this range, right? And you go medium for this range, right? But you can play this, instead of just being a pure scalp trader, you can be the hybrid trader. So you can say, I'm big for the 33%. Once I achieve that, I reduce my position down to the medium size and see if the play has more to the 50% level. And to finish, I think that's very smart. Because as we know, what am I constantly drilling you guys about? What am I constantly saying about your winning trades? You tell me, what do I say? What do your winning trades do the vast majority of the time? That's right, to finish. Your winning trades will outperform you. So your actions will cut what the winning trade will do. Your winning trades outperform your thoughts. Your winning trades outperform your feelings. Your winning trades outperform your actions. So, for instance, my winning trade here, I came out here, and the winning trade outperformed me. Here's where I acted, and here's where the stock went. Your winning trades will outperform you 80+% of the time. That's a life keeper. You need to write that down on a post-it note and stick that to your laptop screen or your computer screen. Your winning trades will outperform what you think, what you feel, and what you do. So to finish, I think that your idea of doing the hybrid is very great. And so here's another piece of that guideline. If the win is powerful, sudden, violent, if the win did not struggle to get you the win, do you see what I'm saying? Listen to me carefully. If you get that 33% move fluidly with no real issues, like it didn't give you a scare first and then, if it was just almost painless, then that's the one that's going to keep going most of the time. The one that struggles to get that 33%, I would take all of that. Make sense? All right. All right, Efren, we're coming back to your Twitter trade.